welcome to anovelconsole, your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. My name is Chris, and with me is my beautiful co-host and wife, Karradyne.
Hello.
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 How are you doing today, Karradyne?
I'm okay. How are you?
Are we ghosts?
Why are we doing this? I don't know.
Or whispering willows? Or what are we?
Yeah, I
Whomping
guess.
willows?
No, we're not whomping willows.
Damn it,
How do you even know what the whomping willow is?
Because I worked at Universal for a while.
Oh, yeah, it's in that ride.
Yeah. And
Journey to Azkaban, whatever. No. Forbidden Journey?
Escape from Knuckle Spoons?
Escape from Hogwarts? Something? I don't know.
I want to play Knuckle Spoons with someone.
Dear.
Knuckle Spoons is fun.
No, I not me.
No?
Not with me.
I think you would give up after you hit me the first time.
I'd cry.
So Knuckle Spoons is exactly what it sounds like. You just grab a spoon and whack each other in the knuckles until somebody gives up.
Fucking stupid. You're such boys.
We are boys. And you know who else is mostly boys? But
Our
no,
Patreon supporters.
Actually, no. Our Patreon supporters are mostly women, which is great.
Yeah.
Yes, our Patreon supporters. They support us with $2 a month. They get extra episodes, which we are going to make a habit of making it every week. We've been doing good. We've gotten 2 weeks straight with episodes.
You know what I decided last night when you told me that the 4th season of Disenchantment is coming?
What?
We just need to... So when we finish Chrono Trigger, we need to go back to Marvel, and then we need to make Patreon episodes for all the shows that we watch to force ourselves to finally watch these shows. Because we need to watch The Witcher, we need to watch Queer Eye, we need to watch Disenchantment, we need to watch Big Mouth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff we need to watch.
Chrono Trigger, now that you bring it up. Before we go there, because I don't want to go there yet. Last week, we had the amazing Burger Champ with us on the show.
Yes.
And it was a ton of fun, right?
Yes.
It's a very fun show.
It always is.
Yes, it always is.
Like we do this all the time.
No.
He contributes to the show all the time.
Yes, he does. He even contributed for this week.
I'm terrified.
He contributed last week for this week's episode.
I'm terrified.
So he obviously has a bunch of friends. A lot of them came to listen to the show, which we love and appreciate, because our listens just went up like crazy.
And our friends hate us and don't like to listen to the show.
No, they don't. Our real friends listen every week, and they always come.
One day our super close friends are going to finally sit down and listen to this and hear us call them our not real friends. Does that make sense?
But you got to support your homies.
I know. I got a homie that supports us on Patreon and has never listened to an episode.
And that's great. It makes us happy.
We appreciate her.
Yes. So I want to welcome all these people that came from Burger Champ.
Welcome.
We're glad that you're here. Hopefully you enjoy.
Foolish mortals to the haunted mansion. I am your host, your ghost host.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I've been to Disney.
Well, you can go soon. Anyways,
I know.
Let me finish welcoming.
Okay, sorry.
Let me finish welcoming
Welcome.
the new listeners. Thank you. Please stick around. We are going to have a very good topic today. It is, as you can see by the title, Books Unread and Games Unplayed. So if you have any books unread and games unplayed that you owe a ton of in one particular series, just send us an email. We'll read it on the show. Also, because it has been working a lot, we actually didn't do it last week, but the previous weeks, we asked our listeners to please...
Tell your friends to listen.
Not in that way. But
Please.
Yes, please. Just tell your friends, tell a friend, tell a coworker, a family member, not a child, please.
No one under the age of 20, really. Not even 18. No one under the age of 20, 21. They need to be able to drink.
Just please, just have them listen to the episode. We really like seeing those numbers go up, and it's great because the numbers have consistently kept growing over the past few weeks where we've done this.
We greatly appreciate it.
And we really, really appreciate it. So please just let a friend know. And let's go ahead and get into our intro topics. The first intro topic that we have is Chrono Trigger might derail the Backlog of Doom winners episode.
Which is fine with me. I am on a reading high right now, and that book just isn't speaking to me at the moment. So if I can put it off for another week or two, that's fine.
So basically
Fine.
basically that's what we're gonna do. So we were slated to release this episode at the end of February, which would have been the 28th. But Chrono Trigger has become such a huge and monumental task because I am keeping all of the notes of every single thing that happens in Chrono Trigger so that we can record an episode once a week for Patreon. It's called The Road to Patreon. We have 2 episodes out now. Episode 3 should come out Thursday. And I
The road to Chrono Trigger, not the road to Patreon.
the road to both.
Wait,
The,
what?
the road to Patreon is on our links.
Oh,
But it's the road to Chrono Trigger. Hopefully, I'll have the final episode this week. And it might be 2 hours. It might be an hour. It might be divided into 2 episodes. For one to release
it better not
after-
be 2 hours.
for one to release after the Chrono Trigger episode. But it's been kind of a task, and I've been enjoying every second of it. I'm not complaining about it because it is a fantastic game.
I'm
It is-
complaining. He's taking his notes and yelling at me to turn off my TV show and to turn down my TikToks. And like, I'm just trying to live my best life over
because
here.
the way that I was writing the notes, I was just writing everything literally that happens. Now I'm writing it sort of as a script. So the next episode is going to be different. It's going to be not as monotone. It's going to be more lively with jokes and shit and thrown into it. So I'm finding my footing. So that's why I tell you, please turn it off so I can pay attention and concentrate. And also, I'm playing like an hour at a time and then condensing that entire hour into a couple of paragraphs.
You just don't like listening to Michaela. You yell at me to turn it down.
yes.
That's the truth.
Yes. So, anyways, backlog of Doom Winners episode is going to probably be released on the 14th of March. The 21st and 28th, we are doing Middle Earth March. We are not doing an entire month. We're
Well,
doing
we
2
do have a
episodes.
guest episode, so it might not be the 14th. I can't remember exactly which date we picked to do with that guest. I think that is the date that we chose to do
The 14th?
with. Yes.
So we would record the 13th with them?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
So then the 7th.
I'll double check. It's in my planner.
Okay. So that date might change too.
It'll be sometime in March, not on a Middle Earth week.
But
Yeah.
I guarantee you it's going to be a ton of fun because I'm going to do the same thing with Cyberpunk that I'm doing with Chrono Trigger. So I'm going to take a shit ton of notes, and we are going to go ahead and have a fun time over on Patreon.
It'll be interesting.
So Karradyne's going to enjoy it. It's going to be fun. Now, the Amazon show.
Yes.
The Lord of the Rings Amazon
Yes.
show. Talking about Middle Earth March.
I
Tell
love
me,
the
what's going on?
OneRing.net. They have all of the intel. I wish I were a member of the OneRing.net. I knew about them before I was like super hardcore crazy Lord of the Rings fan. And then they actually, so the first year I went to Dragon Con in Atlanta was the last fucking year that they had a Tolkien track. It was so sad. But OneRing.net.
What the hell is the Tolkien track?
Basically like a whole how should I word this? Like a whole lineup of events was all Tolkien based. The Tolkien
okay.
track in the convention.
Okay,
so
I
they've
see.
got like Pokemon tracks and they've got
Dragon
video
Ball
game
tracks
track.
and-
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Game of Thrones, everything.
Yeah.
And the OneRing.net organized all of those events. So that was really cool. But then, last year it was happening. Very sad. But maybe they'll bring it back now that we have this Amazon show. But anyway, they knew going into this past week that we were going to get a big release of either images or information or something. And sure enough, if you look at LOTR on Prime on Instagram, they released I think more than 20, definitely more than 10 images from the show. And it's all just like movie style posters. And it's just like a torso and hands of several different characters, and everybody's speculating who's who and what's what. And somebody's like, the show is called The Rings of Power, and not one of these fucking people's wearing a ring of power. And it's all hands. Like, what the hell? So it's been fun looking at all of those and speculating what the hell is going on. And OneRing.net is hoping for a trailer in the next couple weeks. So have my eyes peeled.
I did have a little bit of a doubt with one of the ones that you said. You said that one of them is
No,
Sauron.
it looks like Sauron, but there are lots of debates going on about who it would be. Because, I mean, part of the show is going to involve, like, early Sauron.
When he was an elf.
Yes.
When he
But
was
just
still
because, but
best
it's
friend.
just armor. It's just armor.
I know it's just armor, but it kind of looks like his armor. It's kind of pointy and shitty and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's why I think it might be him.
It could be, but in
We'll
that
find
age...
out on September 2nd.
Oh, Lord. Speaking of Lord of the Rings.
Uh-huh.
So you know how last week we covered Until Dawn?
Yes.
And you remember how I said that Ashley was a sweetheart. And
Yes, you loved her.
And you said, oh, is it because she's in love with the guy called Chris? Because you're Chris. I'm like, no. Chris is a shithead. Ashley is a genuine sweetheart. She's a super sweet girl. But surprisingly enough, her real name, the actress's real name, is Galadriel Steineman.
I was like, those girls' parents, that girl's parents are
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings fans.
Yeah, it would be like something you would do, except you would call your child
My
Arwen.
dog. Yes.
Your dog. Because I had seen the name on like the intro sequence where they kind of like say the names of the characters or who's playing who, and yeah, the one that said Galadriel, I'm like, who? What is that? Did I read that right? Because I just caught it like off of the corner of my eye while it was disappearing. Like, there's somebody fucking called Galadriel in this world, like a real name Galadriel.
Arwen is a better name. You know, Arwen is her granddaughter.
Yeah, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it, and you've told me
A
multiple
million
times.
times.
Yeah, like Vigo broke his toe.
I love it.
So I had said last week that I hadn't finished Until Dawn. So as soon as the episode was over and I was done editing and everything, I just sat down and just finished the rest of the game.
You accidentally killed Ashley.
I accidentally killed Ashley and I felt like shit. I had her check something that she wasn't supposed to, and she had her head ripped off. So I was like, oh fuck, I fucked up. So I just continued to play on, and a bunch of people died by accident. Horrible deaths, like horrible.
All your
deaths.
fault.
Like, even though Rami Malek was the bad guy, he still died, and I felt awful because he got killed. And it was kind of a giant contrast between when I started and when I ended the game, because when I started, I hated everyone except for Rami Malek and Hayden Panettiere, even though she had the personality of toast. But at the end of the game, I was like, okay, I killed all these people by accident. Let me save them all. So I looked up a guide on how to save them all, and I saved them all.
Look at you.
And it turns out that Hayden Panettiere was the hero all along.
Oh.
Even though she spent like 4 hours taking a bath. Pruny ass.
I mean, maybe baths are the secret to success.
Maybe. But Until Dawn's a pretty good game, even though we spoiled it on last week's episode. So it's fun. And if you have the PlayStation something or other, you can probably get it for free. So go check it out.
I mean, I feel like everybody should expect to come into this show to find at least 1 or 2 spoilers at this point.
I mean,
it's really hard to review things without spoilers.
I mean, not
It's
games, because
very
you can
hard.
talk about the gameplay and whatnot and not the story at all.
It's very hard.
But books are all story. There's nothing else.
Exactly.
The pages were soft. The letters were bold. That's it.
I'm kind of glad we are doing this because the book that I wanted to review today, because I had plenty of books ready for today.
I had no
I have a
games.
whole catalog of books. I finished 2 more Ice Planet Barbarians books this week, by the way. I'm starting book 4 tomorrow. I'll probably finish it tomorrow.
So are we doing the Patreon episode on it? On Ice Planet
Oh,
Barbarian?
God. I guess we can. It'll be fun.
You just
But it would probably be about the whole series because they're very short books.
okay.
Very short.
That's fine with me.
But the book that I wanted to review today wasn't Ice Planet Barbarians. It doesn't come out until May, and I'd feel really bad if I spoiled the entire book. And it's not even out for 3 more months.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Ah.
So you get a lot of books, just like Ice Planet
do.
Barbarians. You get
Yes.
physical books and digital books and shit.
Yes.
I love it when you get giant boxes of just shit with books in it. because sometimes they have treats for me.
Yes, this week I got this awesome. There's like this new vampire series that's like Twilight.
I do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the covers are very.
Twilighty.
They are like borderline plagiarism, similar to Twilight. But they sent me there was like a fourth book coming out this week. So they sent me a survival pack and it's all vampire themed. It had like a little pencil bag. It had a backpack that says like got fangs or something like that. It had a t-shirt that says vampires are sexy as fuck.
Everything sounds like something you would have found in Hot Topic like 10 years ago.
Yes. Yes. And it's even like it has a very Hot Topic look, the box. If you want to see it, go look at my Bookstagram, A Novel Kingdom.
$5.
Oh, God. Anyway, shush. It came with a box of custom Pop-Tarts. With like book characters on it, and it's like vampire shit, so it's strawberry or cherry
flavor.
It's got to be red.
Really good flavor.
So yeah, hubby got a box of free Pop-Tarts from my book mail. Yay!
See, the problem with Pop-Tarts is that I don't buy them often, but whenever I buy them, I always have to make the hard decision of going with the cookies and cream or one of the berry ones that are actually good, like the strawberry, cherry, or the wild berry one. And most of the time,
you got somebody to choose it for you.
Yeah, because most of the time I just go with the cookies and cream one.
You know there are only 2 flavors of Pop-Tarts that I've ever really liked,
and
I still don't love them.
One of them is s'mores.
Yes, but you have to peel the crust off of it. I can't stomach the crust. Guess what the other one is?
So if it's s'mores, knowing you, I am going to say, and I know that I'm wrong, chocolate fudge.
Well, isn't there like a chocolate chip cookie dough one?
Yeah, there is.
It's that one.
There is.
That one.
That one's not bad. That one's pretty not bad. I remember there being like a cinnamon pretzel Pop-Tart for a while.
Can't say I ever came across that one.
That was actually pretty good because it kind of had like the Pop-Tart itself actually kind of had a little bit of the texture of the outside of a pretzel, and when you bite into it, it was just like sugary cinnamon sauce or syrup or whatever the fuck the goo inside a Pop-Tart is made of, and it was actually pretty good. It was decent, but I haven't seen those in a long time. I haven't seen the chocolate chip cookie dough once in a long time either.
No, you see s'mores all the time, but I don't feel like. I mean, not that I look at Pop-Tarts because I don't eat them, but
it's weird that you don't like the crust. Anyways, speaking about stuff that you don't like, Burger Champ sent in another sex toy.
I can't.
To mortify
Is
you.
he just like the king of finding obscure sex toys?
He is the king of finding obscure everything, not just sex toys.
God.
And this one I had seen before, and it's very weird. I don't think you are going to enjoy this at all. So let's start here. This is a sex toy that you can use to lay alien eggs inside of you.
Like, there's a fucking xenomorph on the ad. That is not okay. What the hell? What the hell?
So this is a giant
They look like face hugger cocoons.
Kind of.
What the fuck?
Kind of. They're ribbed on the sides, and they
What the fuck?
They have a hole through where the egg comes out.
Where the face hugger comes out.
The egg. So these eggs are made of gelatin. They're not flavored gelatin. This is just plain gelatin. And you would insert the whole thing into yourself, and then out of the orifice, those eggs would be laid inside of you. Be that wherever you want them laid. As awful as that sounds. And Burger Champ was kind enough to provide us a video that Karradyne is going to watch now, and she is going to be mortified by. So the video starts with just the insertion device called Splorch. A Splorch. He has it covered in lube, and he's just like massaging it. He's showing the hole where the eggs go. He is, for some reason, shoving his whole hand in it. Karradyne, how do you feel about that?
Why is he fingering the hole?
And now he's fingering the other hole. So this man starts grabbing the eggs that are super gelled up and shoving them inside the splorch.
And they're just like falling out the opposite side. Why would you do this to yourself?
So yeah, so you would put them there, and you would have to squeeze it all the way inside you, and then you're supposed to have all of those eggs inside of you until you want to pop them out.
Why?
I don't know. People have weird fetishes, and
Are they supposed to like dissolve inside of you, or you're supposed to get them back out?
either or, because it's gelatin, so it will dissolve inside of you. So,
How the fuck are you supposed to get them back out?
by squeezing them out, just like you would a baby. I mean, but this time it's an alien baby. So what do you think about the splorch?
You know, I'm deeply disturbed. I'm more disturbed because I read an alien comic this week, a xenomorph comic. I need you to take that off the screen. I just need you to close out of it. And it gave me so many nightmares because I was reading it at night in bed, which was a big mistake. So this just fueled that nightmare fire. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
You don't play around with that shit. It's like a Ouija board. You don't play around with that shit.
So, okay. So
We'll have facehuggers busting out your stomach,
which one,
chest cavity, whatever.
which one is more upsetting? The vajankle from last week or the splorch?
I think they're equally upsetting.
I
think this one's more fucked up.
This one's more fucked up than
Yeah.
vajankle?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're trying to plant a xenomorph inside of you.
Not
There's
a
something
xenomorph,
wrong
just-
with you.
just
There
an
is
egg.
literally a xenomorph on the picture.
Yeah, that was photoshopped for that website.
I don't care. Nope.
So if you guys want to mortify Karradyne some more with sex toys, just send them in at anovelconsole@gmail.com, and we will do this again, because I just love her reaction every time we do something weird like this.
Imagine if those little things were Dragon Balls and somebody was putting them up in their hoo-ha. How would you feel?
If it was the glass ones, I would be kind of impressed, because they are glass balls inside
Oh
of
my
you.
God. Don't put glass balls inside of you.
Don't put glass balls.
Please.
No. All right, so that's enough for that. So let's go ahead and get into some discussion time.
All right, so this week my husband didn't finish a video game, so we're doing this shit. Books unread, books unplayed, books unread, and books unread and games unplayed. So basically, we're talking about series or parts of partial series that we may own and have not read or have not finished reading or have not played or have not finished playing.
I would just say have not played or have not read.
Well, I've read
And
the
we all-
first book of one of my sets
Okay, that's
of
perfectly
books,
fine.
but I read it in high school.
That's perfectly fine, because out of one of mine, I've played one of those games, and it was back when I was in college, and I never finished it.
So we're on the same page here, basically.
Somewhat, yeah. So what is your first book?
My first book series is the Skinjacker series by Neil Shusterman. That might sound familiar because it's the same author as the Ark of a Scythe books. You bought me this whole box set.
Didn't I buy you the other one, the second one on this list?
Yes, you bought me all but the third one.
Okay. So tell me about Skinjacker.
I don't know anything about it except that you saw it at Barnes and Noble one day and you're like, hey, you liked his other series and this sounds really interesting, so I'm going to buy it for you. And I was like, no, there are other books I'd rather have. It's not on my radar. It's fine. So I think if I remember correctly, I went to the bathroom and you bought it while I was in the bathroom. And you met me outside of the picnic tables, which are now fucking Nike picnic tables because that Barnes and Noble is gone.
Yeah.
And it breaks my fucking heart.
Yeah, I remember that. But didn't I do that like a couple of weeks ago too? You were like, oh, I really like those books. I got credit.
Yep.
And I'm $30 short. I'm like, okay, I'll just buy it. And you were mad because I was grabbing it.
I was very mad.
So
Yes.
what are the name of the Skinjacker books?
Okay, I am going to tell you in just one moment. So they're Ever Lost, Ever Wild, and Ever Found. Ever Lost published in 2006, Ever Wild in 2009, and Ever Found in 2011. And yeah, I had never heard of them before you saw them that day. And now they're on my shelves waiting to be read.
But are you excited to read them? Tell me what the story's about.
So the synopsis of the first book, Nick and Allie don't survive the car accident, but their souls don't exactly get where they're supposed to get either. Instead, they're caught halfway between life and death in a sort of limbo known as Everlost, a shadow of the living world filled with all the things and places that no longer exist. It's a magical yet dangerous place where bands of lost children run wild, and anyone who stands in the same place too long sinks to the center of the earth. When they find Mary, the self-proclaimed queen of lost kids, Nick feels like he's found a home, but Allie isn't satisfied spending eternity between worlds. Against all warnings, Allie begins learning the criminal art of haunting and ventures into dangerous territory where a monster called the McGill threatens all the souls of Everlost. In this imaginative novel, Neil Schusterman explores questions of life, death, and what just might lie in between. Why are you laughing?
The monster is called the McGill.
Oh my God. Well, I'm looking at one of my friends from high school who I trust more than most people gave it 5 stars 10 years ago. So,
The McGill.
the McGill.
It sounds like if McDonald's
Vince McGill. Vince Gill? What was his name? Vince Gill? Or what is his name?
if
I don't know.
McDonald's
Country singer.
made prosthetics for fish, they would make the McGill.
Oh my God. And you could get it on the McFish, whatever the fuck
No,
that
so
thing
the
is.
fish could breathe underwater because that fish doesn't breathe
can't.
underwater
I
for some reason.
can't.
Oh my God, the McGill! I can't wait for you to read those. They sound cool, except
I'll
for
get
the
to him eventually.
except for the McGill. The McGill sounds pretty awful.
That sounds pretty stupid
Yeah, it
and
does.
lacking in creativity.
The McGill, and it's some guy named Gill, but he's a farmer. Ergo the Mac. No,
Old McGill had a farm.
Old McGill,
E-I-E-I-O.
Old Man McGill.
Old man McGill.
All right, so my first series is the Yokai Watch series. Karradyne, what does this look like to you? What?
It looks like Pokemon.
Yep.
And it looks like Pokemon meets Studio Ghibli.
And
Sort of.
I
Totoro.
think
And Kiki's Delivery Service.
I think you're right. So I have heard a lot of comparisons between these games and Pokemon. Basically because you befriend
The animals.
over 200 different yokai, all with their own unique personalities.
They look pretty cute.
I mean, they are kind of cute, but then again, a yokai is it's a ghost, of a deceased person's ghost. So it's a bad monster, but these are all friendly. And apparently, you store them in your yokai watch, where the name of the game comes from, and then you use them to fight other yokai and catch them, like in Pokemon.
So it's like Pokemon.
Pretty much. So I have Yokai Watch 2, Bony Spirits, and Yokai Watch 2, Fleshy Souls.
Fleshy souls?
Fleshy Souls.
Ew, I don't like the sound of that.
I haven't opened these games in a long time because I just noticed that I have the medals in them that come with 1 and 2. But I've been, at one point in my life, like 2 or 3 years ago, I got into collecting DS games like crazy. But like crazy, I wanted to buy everything. And I bought 1 and both 2s. There's a third 2, which I haven't bought.
That's confusing.
Yes.
Why
The
would
third
you do that?
2 right now is around $80. And the third Yokai Watch is around $200.
What?
Yes.
No, sir. Not anytime soon.
The only way to actually buy that game and play it without spending $200 is to buy it off of the 3DS eShop, which would be $40. But my stubborn ass wants a physical case to put on my shelf because I am that way and I have a massive problem with material things.
You do. Well, that's okay. We have to stop.
I am $30,000 in credit card debt.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I at some point I will play these games. Will it be anytime soon? Fuck no. I got other stuff to play. And if these are anything like Pokemon, these are time sink. So I just bought them because they were cute, and I wanted to collect everything for the DS. All right, what's your next series?
My next series is the Renegade series by Marissa Meyer. I've also mentioned her on the show before.
I bought those for you too, right?
You did. The next one is the only one you didn't buy for me. So these, I only have the first two. There are three. So I've got Renegades and Arch Enemies. I don't have Supernova, and I have no business getting Supernova until I read Renegades and Arch Enemies and see if I actually even like them. Because apparently they're urban fantasy, and we know how I feel about that.
You don't like urban fantasy, and it's funny
I can tolerate it every once in a while. Oh, shut up. We're not going to talk about the fact that Harry Potter is urban fantasy, okay? Shush. You shut your mouth.
I didn't bring that up.
Shut up, Burger Champ. We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it.
He's being channeled through me.
Would you like to hear what Renegades is actually about?
I would like to hear what it's about, but
Okay.
I was just going to say, like, we have a couple of listeners, and these are grown men who love urban fantasy, and I just don't know if it's like women don't like urban fantasy.
No, because I have lots of friends who like urban fantasy, and I like Crescent City. That's urban fantasy, but it's still decent. But it's probably my least favorite Sarah J. Maas book. Anyway, so Renegades, secret identities, extraordinary powers, extraordinary power. She wants vengeance. He wants justice. The Renegades are a syndicate of prodigies, humans with extraordinary abilities. They're superheroes, I guess, who emerge from the ruins of a crumbled society and establish peace and order where chaos reigned. As champions of justice, they remain a symbol of hope and courage to everyone except the villains they once overthrew. I don't think I'm going to like this. Nova has a reason to hate the Renegades, and she is on a mission for vengeance. As she gets closer to her target, she meets Adrian, a renegade boy who believes in justice and in Nova. But Nova's allegiance is to a villain who has the power to end them both.
Wow. Why do you think you're not gonna like it?
It sounds like superheroes, and I just DNF'd a superhero book.
I mean, it does sound kind of cool for like a middle schooler to read.
Exactly.
So you're too old for it. You're not a target demographic.
I mean, I'm still going to try to read it because obviously I own them, and they'll just go to the used bookstore if I don't like them.
Bright Light
It's
Books. They might have another Lord of the Rings thing you can buy.
Exactly, with all my credit.
Yeah,
They've
well,
always got something new in that Tolkien section that I can buy with my credit.
I think they might go to like Barnes and Noble or something and be like, what can we buy that Karradyne will like? We need to keep her bringing books in because these books are expensive and people buy
Yeah,
them.
I mean, I bring in a lot of new books that I've gotten for free.
For like 3 months
Yeah,
early.
and I bring them in. I supply them with a lot of inventory.
So you don't think you're going to like the Renegades. What did you say was the previous book that Marissa Meyer?
I read her Lunar Chronicles that I really liked. They're the fairy
email
tale
ones?
retellings. Huh?
No, that's not the email ones.
No.
The ones that were written in like email with redacted stuff being told.
No, those were the Illuminae files.
Right.
Sci-fi. But Lunar Chronicles is fairy tale retellings that are in space.
I see. Lunar Chronicles.
So like Cinderella is a cyborg who lost her foot, not just her shoe. She lost her whole foot. It's pretty fun. Those books are really good. I really enjoyed them.
Oh, that reminds me of a funny story. There was one time where me and my buddies were in Puerto Rico, and we were at the beach drinking, and it was late at night. And my friend Pedro was very drunk. And we decided to leave the beach. We were going to go home. And we were walking down this pathway, and this lady with a prosthetic was walking by.
Oh, God.
And the prosthetic was, it looked like it started above her knee. So, her leg was just moving completely straight every time she took a step. And she walks by Pedro, and Pedro says at the top of his lungs, "Why is she limping?"
No, he didn't. No.
And we were all like, "Shut the fuck up."
No.
He's like, "Don't, shut up. Stop talking."
No.
Like, his girlfriend at the time just like smacked the shit out of him. It's like, "Pedro, shut up."
That's terrible.
Oh,
Oh, I would have been
it
mortified.
was awful. It was very awful. But now that I think about it, like, Jesus Christ, we can't let him drink
No,
and
jeez.
be out in public.
Shame on him. Oh,
Oh, okay.
what's your
So
next game series?
my next game series is the Shin Megami Tensei series.
Shin Megami 10.
Shin Mega 10.
Shin Mega 10.
Shin Megami Tensei.
Shin Megami Tensei.
Okay. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm tired.
So, if this series won't sound familiar to you unless I say Persona, because this is the parent series where Persona was spun off from, and
So
I
Persona's more popular than
yes,
it.
in the West, Persona's more popular over here in America than it is in Japan. Although with Persona 5, I think that might have switched. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Shin Megami games. The first two, I'm not sure if they count. They're Persona Q, Shadow of the Labyrinth, and Persona Q2, New Cinema Labyrinth. So these are a collaboration between Persona and another RPG series called Etrian Odyssey, which I believe is a first person dungeon explorer where you're walking down a dungeon and fighting monsters, but the dungeons are procedurally generated. So each playthrough is going to be different because the dungeon layout changes per set gameplay session. And I haven't played either of these. I probably should because it is more Persona, and I am short for Persona. Not short. I'm starved for Persona content.
Dicks and chariots.
Dicks. What?
Dicks and chariots.
Oh, Mara. Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yes, I want a giant dick and a chariot. The next one is Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux. This is, I think, a not a port, kind of like a remake of a DS game that came out on 3DS. And it looks pretty cool. Look at the characters. Kind of looks like spacey and fights and monsters and demons and shit. The next one is Devil Survivor 2 Record Breaker, which apparently says here your days are numbered. The upgraded and enhanced version of the acclaimed RPG Devil Survival 2 warns us that the apocalypse is upon us once again. What would you do if you could see others' deaths before they come to pass? A mysterious website, Nikkei, will show you just this. What you do with the information will determine the fate of mankind as calamity of unprecedented scale strikes Japan. And from the screenshots, it looks like it's the same kind of gameplay. You know, you have the monsters in front of you, you fight them, you maybe recruit them into your party. So it's kind of like Final Fantasy meets Pokemon, but it's actually really fucking hard for no fucking reason at all.
Tell us how you really feel.
I feel that way because of one of the next ones that I'm going to talk about. So I also have Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, which is kind of like the sequel to Shin Megami Tensei 4, which I also have. I just got this a couple of weeks ago in from eBay, which I'm very happy because this game used to be around 90 and 100, but because we got a reprint of Shin Megami Tensei 3 and Shin Megami Tensei 5 released, this game dropped down in price to $40, which is the price it was when it originally came out. So I scooped that
Books
shit
are
up.
a lot cheaper than video games.
Yes, they are, and I'm glad that eBay exists. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any video games.
I'm glad publishers send free books.
Yeah, someday we'll get publishers to give us free codes for games too. That would make me happy. But I digress. Anyways, Shin Megami Tensei 4. This is a game that I played, and I didn't get out of the training part of the game because it was so damn hard. So basically, you have to exploit weaknesses and buff your stats and debuff the enemy stats so that you actually have a fighting chance. But it just makes it so that the fights are eternal, or maybe I was just too fucking stupid to comprehend it back then. So I think that eventually I'll give this a try, and I am kind of excited about it. The next two that I have are obviously Shin Megami Tensei 3 and 5, which I did try 3 a long time ago on PlayStation 2, and same thing, couldn't get out of the training area because it was so damn hard. And 5 I haven't played. And if these games offer an easy mode, I'm going with the easy mode. I am not going to struggle because I am an old man and I have no time to play video games because of work. I wish work would go away. All right,
If only the podcast would pay our bills.
that's never going to happen.
Tell all of your friends to listen. All of them. Your mothers, your fathers.
Yes, your
cousins.
Your fathers will love the sex toy parts.
Oh my God.
All right, so what is your next series?
My next series is the Everyday series. Once again, I own the first 2 books, but there are 3 books in a novella. Looks like the novella is 6 earlier days, and then we have Every Day, Another Day, and Someday, which really bothers me because the first 2 titles, Every Day and Another Day, that's 2 words, but then we have Someday, which is 1 word.
What? So, why did they go with that alliteration? No, that's not it.
No,
that's
it's
spelling.
not.
That spelling of it? Why?
Wait, what?
Why did they use someday the whole word together and not someday the 2 words separate?
Because it's not someday. They would have had to choose something entirely different that is 2 words.
So
does that make sense? Like,
no.
Someday is not 2 words. Someday is 1 word. Anyway, so
that makes me confused.
I feel like this series only partially counts because I have read the first book, but shit, I read it like, was I in college or was I in high school? It's been a long time since I read it, whenever the fuck I did read it. So, and it even has a movie that I never saw. I have a funny story. Let me read you the synopsis first.
Okay.
Every day a different body, every day a different life, every day in love with the same girl. There's never any warning about where it will be or who it will be. A has made peace with that, even established guidelines by which to live. Never get too attached. Avoid being noticed. Do not interfere. It's all fine until the morning that A wakes up in the body of Justin and meets Justin's girlfriend, Rhiannon. From that moment, the rules by which A has been living no longer apply, because finally A has found someone A wants to be with. Day in, day out, day after day. I was super intrigued by this book the first time I read it.
Is it because he reincarnates in the body of... They reincarnate in the body of your brother-in-law?
Oh my God,
no. Or the maintenance guy?
You're ridiculous. You are ridiculous, but A has no gender because A is someone different every day. I don't know what A is, but so this book had a movie come out. Oh gosh, sometime when I still had Movie Pass, because I know Jen and I were gonna go see it, and then we never did.
So like 4 years ago?
Yeah, a long time ago. And then, so this past week, this book, Every Day, I lent to Alan's sister to read. And she actually never gave it back to me, and Alan wound up going on Amazon and buying me a new copy because I wanted it back.
Didn't she also move out of the state?
Yeah, she lives in like California now.
Oh boy,
but,
you're never getting that book back.
So last week it popped up on my notifications from Facebook that she commented on something, was like, so how was it? I'm like, what the fuck? So I go look at it, and it is from years ago when I shared the movie trailer. She was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I was like, yeah, I just bought the second book and I can't wait to read it. So she was replying to my comment from years ago because it popped up on her memories, wanting to know how the second book was. And I was like, fuck, I still haven't read it. That like literally defines my bookish life.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to read this book years later. Still haven't read it.
No, I can identify. You know how Pokemon Arceus, however it's said, came out last week? Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm buying it.
You're not playing it.
No, I haven't played it. I put it on the Switch and that's it. And a couple of days ago, Dying Light 2 came out. I'm like, yes, I watched the whole video explaining everything. I know what happens before. I know what happens during and what happens after in the story of Dying Light. I'm ready for Dying Light 2. Where's Dying Light 2 right now? Sitting right in front of the TV. Hasn't even been installed on the PlayStation.
Like, the only author that I'll drop everything for and read the minute it comes out is Sarah J. Maas.
See,
If Tolkien were still alive, I'd do it for him in a heartbeat. But he isn't, so I don't.
I do that with a couple of games, right? I do that with Persona. I do that with Yakuza. Not Judgment, even though I love Takyagami. I don't do it with Judgment. What else do I do it with? Nothing else really. So,
No.
and I know a new Bioshock is not going to happen for at least 2 or 3 years. So, yeah, those are pretty much it. And we're not going to get a new Yakuza game for at least a year or two. So, and Persona, who knows how long that'll be. Wow.
The Elden Ring, you'll play it as soon as you buy it. Elden Ring.
No,
Elden?
I'm not gonna Elden.
Elden.
I'm not gonna be able to buy it play it as soon as it comes out because I'm gonna be playing Cyberpunk.
All right, never mind.
Yeah. So
You did kind of play the Rot game right after you bought it.
Kenna.
Kenna.
Yeah, I did play that pretty much as soon as I got it. Anyways, so let's go on to my last series. And this is a series that I've kind of fiddled with when I was in college. This is this Gaia series, or the Gaia, or however you pronounce it. I like to say both.
Bane of my existence. I got sent into Cybertron looking for this shit, and the guy was like, no.
Yeah, because I had seen it a couple of weeks before, and then I had seen it a couple of days after. And
he was convinced the dude just wasn't checking the shelves, so
yeah, no,
I got to go in and check behind him.
Yeah,
no,
I'm sure
it really
he didn't
wasn't
check.
there.
I'm sure he didn't check. All right, so these are games made by Nice America. These are tactical RPGs, kind of like Fire Emblem, if you will.
The one you play on the toilet.
The one I play on
for
the toilet.
hours and hours and hours.
Yes, and like Final Fantasy Tactics. So it's basically chess with characters that individually level up, and you get stronger and more ability, so you can kill characters on the board and whatnot. So when I was in college, I messed around with this Gaia 1, and I thought it was very clever and very funny. But I didn't get past the third fight because I got something else that distracted me. But then there was Prinny, Can I Be the Hero? And is it Can I Be the Hero? No. Prinny, Can I Really Be the Hero? And this game, which I have the 2-pack for Switch, this game is awesome. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up where you play as a penguin with giant knives killing a whole bunch of demons and monsters. And I love it because the Prinnies say dude with a D and 2 O's and another D. So they're funny. And they
Sounds wonderful.
And they like sardines. So I have
Random.
Since Christmas, I've decided to try to get all of the Disgaea games, even the ones that I don't have consoles for, which might eventually lead me to buying a console for them, PSP. But
My God.
probably not. I have Disgaea 1 complete on Switch, Disgaea 4 complete, A Promise of Sardines edition.
I can't.
It's funny because in that one I saw the trailer, and apparently the guy that you play as used to be a tyrant in real life, and when he died, he just wanted to have the preenies be like a really competent workforce. So he pays them in sardines as they do good stuff. There's this Gaia 5, which I have no idea what it's about. This Gaia 6, A Defiance of Destiny Unrelenting Edition. No idea either. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I really need to sit down and play these games because apparently they're super crazy. You can get to like level 999 and do attacks that cost 9,999 damage and above. So I probably should just like actually deep dive into the series and
Make it a goal for the year.
Yeah, that'll happen soon. That'll happen soon because I keep looking at these. I'm like, holy shit! I like the art style. It's cartoony. It's kind of lowly, but not in a creepy way. It's just looks adorable. It looks it's nice art style. What do you think of the art style? Yes,
I
no?
mean, I guess it's cute. Their boobs are not as big as their heads, so
Yeah,
that's
good.
a positive.
Yeah. So should be a fun series. It's highly regarded, and apparently every time a game comes out, they just sell out immediately. So, all right, what time is it?
It's time for Gimme the Garbage.
All right, that is Give Me the Garbage.
This week's restaurant is Papa Lozzi or Daddy Lozzi in East Orlando.
Papa Lozzi Italia. That's
Papa Lozzi Italia. Excuse me, I forgot that it had another word in its name. So Chris discovered this place on Instagram because apparently a lot of Orlando Magic players like to eat there.
a lot of
Even though it's not like we're Magic fans and he like goes on Instagram looking for where the Magic players hang out.
no. So it's like a lot of people love this place, and a lot of people know about this place. Yet nobody knows about this place.
So it's near Castaways, which we've reviewed before. I think
we
haven't
have not.
reviewed
I don't think
Castaways.
so.
No.
It's
It's
right,
in a major shopping center.
right across the street from Waterford Lakes
Yes.
in Orlando, Florida.
Well, it's still Waterford. It's just on the other side with the Home Depot.
Yes,
Yeah, so it's near the Home Depot. So it's kind of hidden, really. Because, I mean, you have that front set of businesses that are right there on Alafaya. And then this is one of the places that's back behind it that you're not going to see from the road.
Yeah.
Unless you know it's there. When Castaways is one of those places, and fucking Kiki's, but don't go there. You'll get food poisoning.
Kiki's is not good.
No, it's not. It's
No.
not good at all.
No, it's bad. So, I'm very, very happy that we decided to come to this place. And just so that everybody knows, this is the only place in our entire relationship that we have gone 3 times to eat there
In 1 week.
in 1 week.
8 days.
In 8
In
days.
an 8-day span, we ate there 3 times, and we would have eaten there more if we could have.
Yeah. This place has made us break garbage and create a new tier for it,
Yes.
because everything about this place,
Is fucking amazing. Fucking amazing.
so the only other time I felt eating the way that I felt eating this food was when we went to Chicken, in which I could not believe what I was tasting and how amazing everything felt, from texture to flavor.
Every single bite was like, holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Let's start with the antipasto. So the antipasto has salami. It has cheese, which I believe is provolone.
And mozzarella, fresh mozzarella.
Fresh mozzarella. It has sweet peppers, grilled zucchini,
Kalamata olives,
artichoke,
artichoke hearts,
prosciutto.
balsamic vinaigrette. Because you
nut-
basically have like a caprese salad.
Yeah, so it has arugula and mortadella, which I was so freaking happy to see mortadella.
I don't really like mortadella, but with all of the other stuff on the plate, like if you take it in a bite with something else, it's much better.
Okay, so for those who don't know, mortadella is rich people bologna.
Yeah. It looks weird. It looks like the fruitcake of bologna.
Yes, because it has peppers in it. It has peppercorns.
It looks really nasty.
It's so freaking good.
It's okay, especially if you don't look at it when you put it in your mouth.
And this
Close your
mortadella
eyes.
was probably one of my favorites that I've ever had. The salami was amazing. It was
The zucchini was amazing.
The zucchini was
zucchini's so
insane.
good.
It had a nice garlic flavor to it. It had olive oil. It was just, so they have extra virgin olive oil, and there is a huge difference. I didn't know there was a difference between extra virgin and
Just
virgin.
virgin olive oil.
There is a massive.
You want to
difference.
buy EVOO from now on?
No, I'm an avocado oil believer in and I'm not
As long as they
betraying-
have it in stock.
I'm not betraying my avocado oil, because that shit makes everything taste better. But holy shit, what was your favorite part of this?
My favorite part of
antipasto?
oh gosh. I don't even know. I guess maybe the caprese, because I really like a good caprese. And those chunks of mozzarella were huge and so fresh.
They were.
And the tomatoes were so fresh.
And juicy.
Yeah,
and
very,
crunchy.
very juicy. It was awesome. And then Matt and Marla got the bruschetta, and it is the most fucking perfect bruschetta in all of the world.
The what?
Bruschetta. That's how you're supposed to say it.
Every time you say that, I can just picture Scott Conant with his giant hair just saying bruschetta.
Bruschetta. I have a teeny tiny little smidge of Italian in my blood.
Just a little
teeny,
bit.
teeny tiny little smidge. It's barely there.
Tell me about the bruschetta.
Oh my God. I don't know how they did it. They give you the most crispy, perfect bread with all that shit on top of it, and it's still so crispy and so flavorful.
What does it have on top of it? Is
Well,
what I'm asking you.
Everybody knows what's on bruschetta.
No, because they always change. Remember how Giovanni's had pizza bruschetta?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's your typical bruschetta. It has diced tomatoes, diced mozzarella, balsamic vinaigrette. I think it even had some onions on there.
Yeah,
Did
it
onions?
did have some red onions mixed into the tomatoes, which just gave it such a amazing bite. And it was garlicky too. It was, oh my God, it was so good. It was the best bruschetta we've ever had. Like, even to the point where my aunt, the second time we went was with my aunt, my grandparents, her boyfriend and whatnot. And she was in love with the bruschetta.
Yeah, it's amazing. Very, very impressive how crispy they keep it. I don't know how, with all that moist shit on top of it.
So we also had we went there 3 times. We pretty much just had bruschetta and antipasto all 3 times.
Basically.
Yeah. But we also so the next couple of items are just going to be the entrees that we had. The first time that we went, I had the filet mignon on peppercorn brandy sauce. And oh my God.
That sauce was so good.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good. I wish I'd asked you for a piece of the meat, because I didn't taste it. I just tasted the sauce.
So the steak was cooked perfect. I asked for medium, and it was cooked perfectly medium. It had a really nice seared flavor to the skin, so you could actually taste like the crunchy part on top. Like, oh my God, it's making my mouth water. It was super tender. When you would cut into it, you could actually see the marbling inside of the meat. And it was just a plain beautiful piece of meat. It did have pasta with it, but the pasta in this case, that because the sauce on the steak and the steak itself was so amazing, the pasta was underwhelming. It could not.
Well, I mean, it wasn't fancy pasta. It was just pasta with like butter and Parmesan.
It was angel hair. I'm gonna blame him that it wasn't amazing on the fact that it was angel hair, and I don't like angel hair.
But it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad at all. It just didn't stack up to the rest of the food.
Right?
Because the brandy sauce was just buttery. It had a really nice brandy flavor. It was rich, hearty, kind of like a roast sauce, but it wasn't a roast. It was just a very amazing sauce that they made for it, and the sauce was so fucking good that it made the peppercorns edible.
And was that one of the specials, or is that something on the
that was
menu?
a special.
It was
That wasn't a regular. That was one of the specials, which their specials change every once in a while.
Yeah.
As
Going 2 days in a row, we did find that they didn't change all that much from day to day.
they did
A
change
little bit,
slightly.
like so some elements would change.
As our waiter put it, the specials change whenever the chef feels like cooking something new. So
He sounds like a really moody Italian guy, and I love it.
And oh man, he is an amazing chef. I love that.
He can be as moody as he wants.
Yep,
We don't care.
With this ability to cook. Yeah.
Put all of that aggression into the food.
Yeah.
Yes, my friend.
So, if you don't know, peppercorns are these little black pepper balls that you would grind for black pepper and whatever.
Yeah.
the sauce made them edible. Like I was eating fucking peppercorns, and as off-putting as they feel to chew, with this sauce, they were holy shit. This sauce was so freaking good.
It was very, very tasty.
It also at the end when I finished the meal, I was sifting through the sauce, trying to eat whatever I had left because I would have licked the plate if it would have been socially acceptable. And I could see that there were two kinds of onions. There were red and white onions, and they had absorbed the brandy sauce, and they were very sweet and just plain pure oniony perfection. They were so freaking good. I love this.
Sounds pretty wonderful.
It was.
You know what else was wonderful?
The risotto you had?
The risotto
What was your risotto?
Oh my God. So they don't have risotto on the regular menu. It's just a special, and the risotto can change, obviously, because it's a special. I was hoping that they might have mushroom risotto, but they didn't. They had red shrimp risotto.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called exactly, but oh my God, that risotto was so creamy and so rich and just, oh my God. It did taste like it maybe cooked in like some kind of shrimp broth because the risotto had a very fishy taste to it, like other than just having shrimp in it.
But in a good way.
In a good way, yes. In a very good way. And the shrimp was just, oh my God. It's been a long time since I've really eaten shrimp because I try to avoid it with his shellfish allergy.
It's my fault.
Crab, I can't resist, but I try to avoid anything other than crab. And oh man, it was so good. So creamy and just, it had like, was it tomatoes or red peppers in there? I think it was tomatoes. But oh my God, they were just cooked to perfection and just added this wonderful zesty element. Oh, it was so creamy and good. I love a good creamy risotto. Oh my God.
It did sound amazing except for the shrimp part because death, but
I can't wait until they have some mushroom risotto. We're busting up in that bitch and buying it.
yeah, we gotta get the phone number of our waiter.
Yeah.
And tell him, hey,
Dan,
please
just
text
send us a text anytime you have mushroom risotto, please.
every time.
We won't even reply. Like just let us know.
Just let us know and we'll be there.
Slip in our DMs. Let us
we'll-
know.
We'll slide you a 50 if you let us know.
Yes.
So the next time we went in, we had two different things. You had the
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Tell me about the spaghetti and meatballs.
It's the best fucking spaghetti and meatballs I've ever had in my life.
And it's part of the regular
Ever.
menu?
Yes. Oh my God. The meatballs are so soft and juicy, but also like not super textured, if that makes sense. They're just soft and juicy pillows of happiness and tomatoiness and the only thing that I think would have made the spaghetti and meatballs better is if you gave me more cheese to put on top of it. But the sauce, oh my God, the sauce. And it didn't even give me heartburn, if I remember correctly.
No, it didn't.
The sauce, oh my God, that sauce is like the closest I've had at a restaurant, like to your sauce. It is awesome and so fresh and flavorful and really fucking good sauce.
Okay, I am not Italian. The sauce, the pizza sauce, spaghetti sauce that I learned how to make, I think it's good.
It's
but
amazing.
every time that I have like a real Italian person sauce, let's say Santino or
Daddy Lozzi?
or Father Lozzi, I see how inadequate my sauce is because these sauces are so layered in flavors and
So many flavors.
you can just taste the care and love they put into these sauces.
Just like I'm telling you, the best spaghetti and meatballs I've ever had
I did try it.
in my life.
I did try it and it was phenomenal.
Your teeny tiny grandpa cleaned his plate.
Yeah, he did.
He cleaned it.
He did.
He may have butchered the spaghetti, but he,
He
ate it.
butchered
It's
the
okay.
spaghetti and the meatballs
Like
and
a
everything.
small child.
But he ate
Ooh,
everything.
it hurt my heart just a little bit.
And you know, my grandpa, he will obviously eat anything you put in front of him because he's not gonna say no to food. But there's rarely a time when I've seen him go out and just leave a plate completely cleaned. He loved it.
He did. He went to town.
Yep. So that day I had the sea bass and salsa verde.
We should say that someone else foot the bill. I would not have let him order this shit.
So this is the fish special that they had. It was a sea bass in salsa verde, but it's not Mexican salsa verde.
It looks like a pesto.
It kind of looked like a pesto, but it wasn't as bitter as a pesto. It had a little bit of bitterness. I think the capers in the sauce just did such an amazing job of, making that bitterness just so palatable and enjoyable, because you would get the bitterness and then immediately you would get that cut of pickled juice from the capers in your mouth, and it would just work so good. The fish was massive.
It was huge.
What was it? It was like 12?
10 ounce?
10 ounce? 10
I think
ounces?
it was 10 ounces, yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And it had the head removed. It had the bones inside removed, and it had the spine removed and everything.
Had the tail.
So it was basically just the two fillets and the tails. And this fish was so soft and buttery and cooked so perfectly.
Melt in your mouth.
I have only had fish this good once, and it was at Papa Lozzi. I've never had fish this good ever.
Oh my God. Not even on the island where you're from.
Not even on the island
where
I'm
people
from.
should know how to cook fish to perfection.
Not even there.
I'm sorry if that was a stereotyping statement.
No, I mean, like, people at the beach should know how to cook
Yeah,
fish,
you'd
right?
think.
Especially when the community is a fishing community.
Yeah, you would think.
No, I've had good fish, but this fish was above and beyond anything I've ever had. It had a perfect amount of salt. It wasn't super salty. The salsa verde was just so perfect with the herbiness and the creaminess, because it was also creamy. The capers just worked perfect. The noodles, I think they were fettuccine. I didn't really ask. They were cooked in a really light sauce, which was just great. I love fettuccine, and these noodles, I think these noodles were way better than the angel hair. But also had the salsa verde, which I just kept kind of like throwing on the noodles.
He would have spooned that shit into his mouth if they'd given him a spoon.
I would have.
But he didn't have a spoon.
I would have. I just kept bringing it up with
Didn't have a spoon till we got dessert, and the plate had already been taken away at that point.
So I loved that the skin on the fish was very crunchy on top. So I ate the top fillet first, and then I ate the bottom one. I'm surprised that the bottom one stayed crunchy too, even though it was sitting in all the sauce. And
It's like the bruschetta. How do they do it? It's magic.
It was
Black
incredible.
magic.
Like, I'm not sure if you can eat fishtail, but I would have eaten that fishtail too, because it was crunchy too, and it was
Don't eat the fish tail.
oh my
Don't
God,
do
this
it.
fish, it was so good. It was so good. It makes me want to punch a baby. From
That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's just you've heard that joke. It's so good it'll make you slap your mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna slap your mama?
Yeah, so
Your mama gonna slap you back.
it would be like Friday. Hey, mama, come here. And John Witherspoon slaps his mom.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was so friggin' amazing. That fish was cooked perfectly. Then the third time we went, we had the 4-cheese pizza.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Quattro formaggi.
Yeah. What was in that pizza?
Oh my God, it was ricotta. Ricotta was like the sauce. Ricotta, mozzarella, parmesan, and was it goat cheese maybe? I don't remember.
Okay, so I pulled up the menu. The quattro formaggi, which is what you got, says it has ricotta, mozzarella, fresh tomato, parmesan shavings, and fontina cheeses.
Dan did tell us that the tomato was a misprint on the menu.
It was, but this pizza was so good that it didn't need any tomatoes. This just mix of cheeses was just
Awesome.
oh boy. I loved that the crust was crunchy all around. It was just plain deliciousness.
It really was.
Now, I had the prosciutto e arugula pizza, which is mozzarella cheese, fresh tomato, parmesan shavings, prosciutto, and arugula. Oh my God. This
It
pizza,
was like a bruschetta pizza with prosciutto.
it was like a bruschetta pizza with the melted mozzarella and prosciutto and arugula on top. I had never eaten a pizza this amazing in my entire life.
It was
And
really good.
oh my God, I cannot say enough of this pizza because it was just perfectly crunchy. It held up the entire time. You know, the prosciutto really just added a whole layer of salt that just worked perfect with the fresh tomatoes and the arugula and everything. And oh my God, I loved it. What do you think about this pizza?
I mean, I think I really like the dough. I know I wasn't eating the crust because I wanted to be able to finish eating. If I kept eating the crust, I wasn't going to be able to eat much pizza. But that fresh dough and the way it like bubbles and it's not really heavy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it was
Oh
it kind of was
man.
kind of light too,
It
right?
was very light without being like a thin crust pizza.
Yeah.
It was really, really good crust. But oh my God, I figured the pizza would probably be the one thing that was just like, it was good. But no, it was still fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, it was ridiculous. Like I was looking at the paninis because I was like, oh, maybe I'll have a panini because they have, you know, like a homemade meatball and marinara sauce with mozzarella panini or chicken parm or a pesto chicken panini. But I am so glad that I just looked down and saw the prosciutto arugula and I just had that because oh my fucking God.
It was awesome. It was so awesome. But you know what was even better?
Definitely, well, the desserts were amazing,
Out of this fucking world.
but I love the food even more.
I'm obsessed with the one dessert that I said I didn't like.
Okay, so let's just start with the caramel apple cheesecake.
Yeah, so Matt ordered that. It was the special dessert of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, that
And I
they
think it was like the last slice.
yes, it was the last slice too. So it was a caramel apple cheesecake. It was a very creamy cheesecake. It had a very nice apple
Very strong apple flavor.
on the crust.
Yeah.
That was great. The caramel and everything that it just worked perfect. Everyone thought it was gonna be weird.
I definitely couldn't have eaten the entire slice because it was really rich, but it was good.
I could have.
I couldn't. I definitely couldn't. Nope. Nope. Too rich. Too rich for me.
And I loved it. We also had the tiramisu, which had a nice spongy cake. It was very light. The cream was very
It was
nice.
nice and cold.
It had a very nice espresso flavor. You know, it didn't overpower over the whole cake, which tiramisu, if it's not done right, usually happens. All you taste is espresso, and not with this. Perfect tiramisu. What were you gonna say?
Well, we also got two more desserts. We
Yes.
got their cannoli, which they serve with a scoop of pistachio ice cream. Ugh! I don't like pistachio ice cream.
You are wrong. Pistachio ice cream is the best ice
It's
cream.
really not. It's far, far from it. But you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
No, you're
You
entitled
get
to
to eat the
your
scoop of ice cream.
you're not entitled to your wrong opinion. Pistachio ice cream is fantastic.
Well,
And this pistachio ice cream was packed with pistachios
oh
and
my
it was
God.
just pure amazingness.
But we're here to talk about the cannoli. And the cannoli was also pure amazingness. We were trying to share it because we were with Matt and Marla. So, like, I was breaking into it with a spoon. And you know how cannolis are normally, like, super hard and they're going to shatter everywhere. This one didn't do that. It was perfect. It was like a cannoli from heaven.
It
It
was
was real
it
good.
was really good. The mascarpone was perfect.
But I actually enjoyed the last dessert more.
The last dessert.
Yeah.
And this dessert, I am gonna say, this is one of my favorite desserts. Like if I see this on a menu, I'm definitely ordering this because I am a little bit of a bougie bitch sometimes.
A bougie bitch.
Sometimes I am.
Rarely.
Yes, but when I am, I am. And this is the creme brulee.
Oh my God.
You didn't think you were gonna like this.
No, and I'm obsessed with it. I want to eat it every day.
It is so freaking good.
It is really, really, really fucking good. The first we had one every time we went.
Yeah, we had one every time we went, and each time it's like they just kept getting better. The first one was amazing, but the custard didn't feel like it had set all the way. So it was a little bit runny, which I am not going to complain about because I honestly don't care about texture unless it's gummy fat. And it was just deliciousness. The flavor was incredible.
I think the second time it was more perfect, though. The top was super glassy. The custard was,
Just perfect. Just
The third
a
time-
nice set, kind of like the consistency of a pudding, but
Yeah.
like that creme brulee type of a cream where it just comes off and doesn't leave a trail behind. Oh my god, it just makes me want another one. So it's kind of like vanilla forward. It's very sweet. It's
very vanilla
creamy.
forward.
It's kind of I don't want to say tame because it does have its unique taste, but it's not a taste that is very pronounced. It's kind of subtle, but also very delicious. It the sugar on top with
That's the best part.
The melted sugar on top. It just creates like a glass film that you break and you eat, and then you get that nice crunchy texture of the sugar and all that. I have had creme brulees where all you taste is the butane from the torch, and this one, the 3 times,
Nope. Not a hint.
Not
Not
once.
a hint.
not once. Man, when we rate the restaurants, we want to be fair. We have given a lot of gorbages out because we have a lot of really good food in Orlando. In Oviedo, we have a really great amount of food. So we do in Winter Park too, even though that's more expensive and a little bit shit-eaty. Shit-eaty. Right? Shit-eaty? Is that...
You're making it up. It's fine.
But we haven't had the level of food that we had at Papa Lozzi.
Every single fucking time we went.
Yeah, because we went to chicken. We adored chicken the first time. We went the second time. We loved it as much, but we didn't venture out of what we ordered.
Exactly.
And I feel like because we didn't venture out, it didn't have the same impact as Papa Lozzi did on these 3 visits that we did.
Because we got something different every time, except dessert.
Yeah, except dessert. And I just think that Papa Lozzi deserves its own ranking because while Gorbage is the most highest ranking, the most amazing,
The highest, not the most highest.
the highest ranking that we have of amazingness, I just gotta say this deserves its own category. Like,
Exactly.
there is no other food that we've had before that reaches this level. And what are we even gonna call it?
God tier garbage.
God tier Gorbage?
God tier garbage.
Okay, I can deal with that.
We're also adding almost garbage because of last week.
Well, you say almost Gorbage, but for me and Champ, that was Gorbage.
We got God tier garbage, almost garbage.
And then okay,
meh, garbage.
garbage. Yeah.
Worse than garbage.
We
haven't had any that bad.
No, we don't, and we don't like giving out garbage either. Food doesn't deserve.
I
to be
don't feel
garbage.
bad giving out a garbage to chains. If
Yeah,
it were
no.
a mom and pop restaurant, I don't think we could do it. I think
No.
we would have to say, meh.
Yeah, no, we couldn't. No, because it's mom and pop. You know, they might have an off day.
True.
Like Sicky's felt like it was an off day.
But it's not a mom and pop restaurant.
No, I know it's not a mom and pop, but
No,
they're-
everything tasted like salt. I don't think that was just an off day. Everything was salt.
maybe it was really hot in the kitchen and the chefs were
Waffle
sweating.
House was better than that.
Waffle House was awesome. So, if you guys are ever in Orlando, you want really good Italian food, just go to Papa Lozzi. Order their pizzas. Just go to the place. The food is fantastic. We cannot.
The service is wonderful.
The
Wonderful.
service is incredible. Our waiter.
We had the same waiter every time. And Matt and Marlo went without us once. So we've all been 3 times apiece, and they had him again too.
He was wonderful. His name is Dan. So
Or at least we think that's what he said his name is. That is what he said his name
he
is,
did
right?
say that. He did say that was his name, and I kept calling
Please
him.
tell us if you're listening if we called you by the wrong name.
And if we did, just let us know.
Because he runs the social media, so if that is the case, then he'll see the tag.
Yeah. So it was great service. It was great food. It you know how Olive Garden says when you hear your family?
No.
Fuck Olive Garden.
Fuck Olive Garden all the way home.
Papa Lozzi is the real when you hear your family.
Yes. But those breadsticks and that salad, though.
No.
Can I just go into
Oh, we
Olive
also
Garden?
had breadsticks at Papa Lozzi.
Well,
They were great. They were really good. It was fresh toasted bread with that little oil, salt, and pepper and balsamic dip.
herby oil dip.
Yep. Everything about this place is just fantastic. So go visit Dan, go visit Father Lozzi, and just enjoy the food. And
Bask in its excellence.
and don't be a dick, please. Anywhere you go, just don't be a dick to your wait staff. They're great people.
Yeah, because we witnessed people being dicks at this restaurant. Or at least I did. I was paying attention.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
You were
them,
too
but-
busy talking about work. It's fine.
Well, we never talk, so
I
we
know.
only talk.
We only
once a
talk
week.
on Sundays when we sit down to record.
So because we didn't have any signal, we had to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
See when that happens. All right, so let's get into some housekeeping. So first off, again, our Patreon, $2 a month. We're funny. We have episodes. They're coming out regularly. It'll be fun. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at anovelconsole and on Facebook at facebook.com/anovelconsole. Don't forget that you can tell your friends that they can find the podcast on most major podcast streaming platforms or that they can listen on YouTube by searching for A Novel Console. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, which we'd be ever so grateful. I hate that so much.
Well, the saying you were saying before didn't make any sense.
Oh, it worked
You
for
use
me.
weird words.
Have you heard me talk?
Yes, you use weird words.
Exactly.
I hear it every time we sit down to do this. I don't hear it so much in our everyday life, but when you're reading your own writing, we get weird words. Anyway, rant over.
It would be also awesome if you could leave reviews on
It would
Apple
also
Podcasts.
be awesome.
Never mind. Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts so that more people can find us. Just give us reviews. We're also on Good Pods, so follow us there. Give us reviews there. Spotify, you can give us a review, not a review, vote for
Star rating.
ratings and whatever. You can also email us at anovelconsole@gmail.com and we will read your email on the show, which if you don't, that's fine. Just send us your
Obscure sex toys.
your weird sex toys or whatever else, and your series that you own of books or games that you never played or anything.
Yeah.
And our art was done by Metamorphic A on Instagram. You can find the link in the show notes. Just commission her for whatever artsy stuff you'd like. And I guess with that, we're done with the show, right?
Yes.
Anything you want to say before we end?
No, we got to cut down these long episodes.
I mean, we haven't had a long episode since last week.
Since last week. Oh, God.
You want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.